Hello, I'm Tommy, and in this video, we will be constructing a 6-foot puppet base. I will guide you from start to finish, and you can use this base to create any puppet character you wish. I recommend watching this entire video first before doing anything. If you are very young, I highly recommend parent supervision when making these puppets. For this tutorial, I drew up a blueprint for you. You can download this. You can find a link in the description below. So we will be referring to these dimensions for this tutorial. Okay, so the first part of this tutorial is that you will need to gather your supplies. So the first thing that you are going to need is lots of cardboard. You're going to need some recycled cardboard like this. If it's dirty, just kind of wipe it down, but it doesn't matter how dirty it is. It's going to be covered in paper mache, but I have lots of this stuff because I get this stuff from work. And they throw this stuff out because it's dirty, but I take it home. And you will also need some gloves, some old gloves. You're going to need those. You can use some gloves for crafting if you want. You'll need some gloves. And for the arms, you're going to need one of these. Okay? Now basically what this is actually a pipe insulation tube. So you can get this. I got this from Canadian Tire. Maybe you can get these in most plumbing departments, and they do not cost very much. This one tube only cost me $2. So you'll need one of these. How long? You'll need a good length. This foam tube is 72 inches long. If it's too short, then you could use some epoxy glue like I did here. But this is kind of what I did. I just kind of epoxy glued some of this. And maybe, if it's too short, you could just do some epoxy glue. But I'm going to show you a trick if you screw up. And then you're going to need one of these, a measuring tape, some gloves, some measuring tape, and brushes. I got lots of that. You're gonna need a big brush here. This is actually a horsehair brush. I find this stuff works really good because horsehair actually absorbs water and it stays wet. A single strain of pipe cleaner. Doesn't matter what color it is. That's entirely up to you. Some razor blades. A scissor. Razor blades are very sharp. You always got to be careful when you're using razor blades because you can cut yourself, and never cut towards you or anyone else, or otherwise your puppet might ironically try to stab you. Styrofoam balls for the eyes. It doesn't have to be this size. You can go a little bit bigger if you want. You can go bigger or smaller. That's entirely up to you. Used newspaper or recycled newspaper. You'll need some of this. And then some toilet paper you will definitely need. You're definitely going to need some white glue. Now, I recommend a 4-liter bottle of this stuff. And then you'll need a little container to mix your glue solution with. You'll need some tapes. I got scotch and I got some hockey tape here. A marker and a hot glue gun. Now, another word of warning, hot glue gun is very hot. You can burn and blister yourself, so use it very carefully. Wear gloves if it makes you feel safer. I don't want you guys burning yourself, so please exercise caution when using hot glue guns and scissors and razors. So always craft responsibly and know what you are doing. So yeah, and that's basically all the basic materials that you are going to need. They're very cheap, they're very affordable, they're not expensive. So yeah, this is what you need. So I'm just going to quickly go over them. You're going to need lots of recycled cardboard. You'll need some of that pipe insulation tube, preferably 6 feet long if you can. And then you'll need some gloves. You'll need your brushes. You'll need some pipe cleaner, styrofoam balls, a scissor, some razors, measuring tape, recycled newspaper, a big bottle of white glue, hot glue, tape, and Charmin Ultra Strong or some very durable, absorbent toilet paper. But anyway, this is all the supplies that you are going to need. So it's all out here on the table, and as soon as you gather your materials, then you are ready for the first step. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start rolling up a head. I kind of started on this, but I'm going to start again just so you know how it's done. I want a head that is 12 inches tall because that is going to be your jaw and the top of your head. So what you need to do is you need to take your newspaper and start wrapping them up one at a time. So this is one sheet of newspaper, crumble it, make a nice light ball, don't make it too tight. You want lots of air because then you're not using so much newspaper. And then simply do this. And then the same thing over and over again. Now once we have the paper mache on it, and the glue has dried, we can actually pull this out and reclaim it for future use. So right now we just want the base. Now a really good trick to save a lot of time is to make 2 of these and just stack them on top of each other. You could actually save some time doing it that way. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to keep going until I have it at least 12 inches tall and at least 9 inches wide. So I'm going to take my Scotch tape. It does not have to. It never looks pretty when you start working on it. But the more you work on it, the more it comes together. Okay, we should have something that looks like this. So let's take a measurement. Just a little more than 12 inches tall. This is perfect. And it's about 9 inches long. So what I'm going to do now is wrap the whole thing around. That's what you are going to do. Now when you're done, you should have something that looks like this. And now, it doesn't look pretty, but you now officially have a puppet head base. So now that we have a puppet head base, it is time to get the first layer of toilet paper on. Need to put some glue in. Extremely important that you mix it with water, because otherwise the toilet paper won't be able to absorb it. And if the toilet paper doesn't absorb the glue, then nothing sticks. And then, you know, you're gonna cry. I'm just gonna mix a little bit. Just some regular tap water is all you need. In this case, I'm actually just gonna go 1 part glue and half part water, or maybe just 2 parts glue, 1 part water, however you want to say it. And then I'm just gonna mix it. And And there you go. It should be quite runny and should fall from your brush very easily. Just like that, eh? Just take a little bit of glue, just put it onto your surface area. This is what's going to make the toilet paper stick onto it. A little bit bulky there. I'm just going to tuck that in there. Okay. And then I've already have a roll almost finished. I'm just going to finish this off. Okay, get your toilet paper to stick. Now you're gonna find that when you put toilet paper onto a different surface area, it's gonna take a little bit of work because you're putting it onto a different surface area. But when you put toilet paper onto toilet paper, it's just a walk in the park. It's just so smooth. You just look like a pro, and that's when it's fun. But you know, the painstaking part is covering up the newspaper. So okay guys, it may not be pretty now, but it definitely looks a lot better now. Now we have a very nice little shape, a beautiful head shape here. Yeah, basically just set this aside, let it dry overnight, and then tomorrow you're ready to smooth it out and add more layers, making this thing into a hard, solid object. So I will be right back. Okay, you guys. Here we are, we're back, and the head is now cured. So it should be just kind of scrunchy. You can still squeeze it. It won't be very solid because we only got one layer of toilet paper on. But now for the next step, what I want you to do, well, this is what I'm going to do, but you're welcome to change it up a little bit. If you want to build a bottom jaw, then what you need to do, this should be very close to 12, just a little bit over 12 inches in height, and the width should be about 10.5. Yeah, so about 9 inches down from here. I am just gonna draw a line. This is going to be the bottom jaw of your puppet. And have something that looks like this. And in this case, I'm going to take some newspaper out. I'll be reclaiming this. I can reuse this newspaper, but I need a little bit of newspaper in here. Like that. So you do need that newspaper. The next step, what you want to do, you want to take some glue in your water mixture. I'm gonna have to go over to the sink, so I will be right back. Well, this is about 10. Yeah, it's about 10 inches long. So and remember, you can always carve and shape it and transform it. That's the thing about paper mache. You can always do more work on it. It's never too late to make them better, because usually the first time you finish them, there's room for improvement. But the more you work on it, the better they are going to look, and the more love they will get. Okay, so I am done with these gloves, since I'm done with the knife work. So So I'll set that over here. And now, what you want to do is you're going to take your, just put a little bit of wet glue on here. That's just so that the toilet paper will stick. There. So we're going to let these two pieces dry, and when they're dry, I'll be right back. Now that this is dry, basically what you do now is you're going to push this in. You kind of want to make a bit of a cavity in the mouth, because then this will kind of replicate like a little bit of a gum line here. So it's just a little bit cupped. And then the teeth would go around here. Now worry about this top part and get it completely covered. I'm going to put on about 4 layers of toilet paper. And this should smooth it out and make it really solid. So this is going to be the back. I want you to do this to the back of the head. And you will understand why. This is why I asked you guys to watch this video first. So here's what the face looks like. It's pretty basic. Now there is a little trick you can do to make it really smooth. You just take a sheet of newspaper. You cover it like that. And then you put toilet paper on it again. Just like this. Okay. And now this head, this face, all it needs to dry. We do the bottom of this, we can make it hard. And then it'll be ready. So just 1 minute. Okay guys, we are back, and these things should be very solid. And this bottom should also be quite solid. So, looking at the side, this head, this is basically where the spindle is going to sit on, so that the head can rotate, move around. And so this basically, you should have a head that almost looks like a Shy Guy from the Mario games, or almost like a hooded figure. And with the head, the jaw put on, should have something that looks like this. Let's raise the camera a bit. Almost like Pac-Man or something like that. But yeah, so if you have something like this, and then you've got yourself basically a base head. The only thing that you need to do is that you will need to put some wet paper on here, and then on here let it dry. And then put some wet glue on there. I'm just gonna do maybe about We let these two dry. I'm going to leave these overnight and they're going to dry, and then when I come back these will be all ready and we can start on the body. Okay, so the measurements that I'm going to be using is 14 by 22. So it's going to be 14 long and 22 in width. Now, this is really important. This is why I ask you to watch this video before you start doing anything. Just can mark there. And 22. I'm gonna mark here. Then you want to take a straight edge. And now we cut the pieces out. Okay, now we shall something that looks like this. You got all your pieces cut out. Okay, so for the hips, you're gonna want your dimensions to be 10 by 14. So let's measure that out. So right here, I'm just gonna measure out. Let's see. Can that work? Oh yeah, that'll work. Okay, so this will be 10. Okay. Now, what you want to do is you want to take your straight edge and line up those two lines. You'll get a perfect straight line. So, this is exactly 10. Going from there to there. Now we need, okay, so then you want 14 inches long. And then this is 10, going from there to there. Yep, looks good. My father always taught me, measure twice, cut once. You get that? Measure twice, cut once. I'm just double checking my measurements. Okay, that looks about good there. From there, go. We have our hips. A picture of these dimensions will be posted in the link in the description below. Be sure to check it out. Okay guys, now let's start making the feet. I've got some extra cutouts here. The dimensions are 7 by 13 inches. We want both of those like that. You're going to be building it on top of here because this is going to keep the feet's bottoms flat, and therefore it can help your puppet support themselves a lot better. Now I've also cut these out, so I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Yeah, I want to even cut that down a bit, but basically the idea. Okay, so let's start our gluing right now. So I'm gonna take one of these ankle strips and just kind of glue it into a ring. Don't burn your fingers, please. I can't. So now that you have this, what you want to do is you want to stuff this with newspaper, or you can just stack some cardboard squares in there, or if you just want to. We're going to be gluing this lid on top of it, and that's what's going to be holding your puppet up. And this will give your characters a kind of a bit of an ankle onto their foot, and it looks a little more realistic that way. So I'm just gonna stuff some newspaper in it. So, and once this sets, I'm just going to go over what I just did here. I just added the ankle strip in a big circle, stuffed it, and I glued it onto here. I stuffed it with newspaper, and I put a larger disc on top, and this is what's going to hold your puppet up. Okay? Okay, so I'm back, you guys. Got any excess you want to trim off, you can. Just gonna trim that. Just feel free to trim it down to whatever works. Here I do have a bit much. There. Okay. So, the next thing you want to do is you want to just put some wet toilet paper glue on there. That's what I'm going to do right now. Okay guys, so now this is all dried up, so this is nice and solid now, so this will give you some good support. So to make the feet, it's really quite easy. You'll need some tape. You just take a sheet of newspaper, crunch it up. You're going to have it a little bit longer if you want. It's okay, but you just make sure that the bottom of your foot is flat so that it can support itself. This is one toe. I'm going to make 3 toes on each foot. So this is what it should look like. And that is 1 foot. Okay? So you want to have 2 of them that are just exactly the same. Let's start by, let's start covering these up. So you just cover it up with wet toilet paper. And there you go, that's 1 foot. Okay, and then you should have something that looks like this when you're done. So, just compare, not too bad. Now, I want to point something else really important, since we're rolling it, look at the direction of the corrugation here. You want to be rolling with the direction. You don't want to be rolling against it, otherwise it looks really ugly. You're going to roll all these up. I'm just going to start with the lower leg. And I'm just going to put a piece of tape. And there you go. You're going to do the same thing to everything you have cut. Okay, so now you should have these rolled up. Okay. And now you're going to want to take a disc that's approximately 7 to 8 inches. I'm just going to trace around, and we'll need about 10 or maybe 4 might even do it. I'm sorry, 8. But these will be the kneecaps, and we'll be stacking them. So these are about 8 inches in diameter. Maybe a little bit less, but yeah, so it's about 8 inches. And there, you should have about 10 of these discs, and these will act as the kneecaps. Okay, so now the next step, now that you have all your discs cut out, what you will need to do is you will need to have your glue gun next, okay? Now remember, glue gun's very hot, it can burn and blister you, so please exercise caution when using. It's very easy now, all you have to do is just to get this, just to glue them all together. Okay, so now that you have these all glued, what you want to do is you want to take one of your rolled legs. I think I'm going to start with the thigh first. And this should just fit. And you want to just glue that on there. So just lift up the cardboard, put your hot glue, and then set it on underneath. Let's see, I'm gonna have to move back a little bit, but you kind of want to get this dead center if you can. Again, paper mache will hide your mistakes, so don't sweat if it's not perfect. I'll tell you, my first 5 puppets, they were not perfect at first. And then you're going to want to snap the lower leg, or the calf, however you want to call it, onto the other side of the kneecap. So you just want to get it on there. Just like that. Just kind of smear it on there and that'll work good. You want to do that all around. And now we're going to do the same thing for this. Should have two things that look something like this and something that looks like that. Okay, those are the legs for your pup. Okay guys, so now that you have the legs all pieced together, let's start working on attaching the torso and then the hips. Now the first thing you're going to notice the moment you put these on, the legs, it may be just a bit too small, or let's just do this real quick here. Or it either fits just right. This is fine because you still have to modify the hips a little bit. You don't want it to be just perfect, because when you have it sticking out a little bit, they look a little more realistic. Kneecaps should be spaced out from each other. Like that, yeah, so this is about right. So I just like to run a line just right between the empty spaces there, and then you should have a kind of a mark that looks like this. And that way you kind of have an idea where the center is that you want it. So now we need to cover up this strip with newspaper. I'm going to do that right now. Like that, and turn it over. This will be the top. You want to put tape on there. Tape this up. That one's no good. There. Like that. Now, you put it on. Should look something like this, which is about right. Okay. What I like to do just kind of like that. You want to go off a little bit on the edges here. That way I'll cover up the extra space between the hips and the legs. Okay. So this is about finished. So now I'm just going to tuck in the excess. So what you want to do is you want to get at least one layer of wet paper on here. So there you have it right now, guys. It's wet. I made a big mess on the table. I'll be right back when this is dry. Okay guys, I'm back. This is kind of dried up a bit. There's a reason why that I want you to get one layer on, because this we'll be gluing this. We're using a hot glue gun because that's how we're going to be attaching. And then just to get this part all covered up. Okay, so you should have something that kind of looks like this. Oh, I'm going to set this aside to dry. Okay, so now I'm going to start working on the legs here. We've already kind of attached everything. We got about, the kneecap should be no more than no more than a half inch high, of course depending on your species. This is going to have newspaper wrapped around the top, and the calf, the lower leg, is going to have newspaper wrapped around the middle. So this will give more of a realistic leg anatomy. So let's get started with that right now. Okay, well that's it for now. I'm going to come back here and then we can start working on the lower part of the leg. So I'll see you guys in a couple of seconds. Okay guys, so now this is basically nice and firm. It's got kind of a nice little shape on the top. This is also another easy thing because all we're basically doing is just putting newspaper right across the middle. Well, because you grew up during the good. Guys, so now let's get the torso formed. So we're going to take these two cutouts, and I've already labeled mine, that you should always label your cutouts with a piece of the yarn. This is part of the torso, and this is part of another part of the torso. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll them. Now notice the direction of the corrugation. I'm actually rolling with it and not against it. And it's a lot easier and it looks a lot prettier. There. What you want to do is you want to attach these two. Once you're kind of happy with the shape, this is kind of what mine looks like. It's kind of like a teardrop or like an egg shape. And that means doing this. You don't want to rely on just the tape. So we're going to put some wet toilet paper on it. I have something that looks like this. And then we'll be putting the belly. If you want to keep it rounder, here's a little tip. If you want it to be rounder but it's not keeping its shape, then what I suggest that you do is to put one of these in. Just cut in a sheet of cardboard and just insert it in like that, and it will hold it open, and that way when it dries it will keep the exact shape that you had wanted. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the belly. So just decide which side you want to be your front. I think this side's fine, the one that I have facing you. So basically what you want to do is you want to take your marker and then draw where you want the belly to form. And then once you have done that, start stuffing it with newspaper. Okay, but we gotta let this dry first, and I gotta keep this thing rolling. So I'll see you guys in a couple seconds. Okay, so this is the torso all dry. It's pretty firm, but I'm not too happy with it because I think it needs to be a bit chubbier. So I'm going to show you that trick on how you can fatten up your character right now. So just put some glue on the sides. And basically, take a sheet of newspaper. There! You'll notice how much of a difference that can make. Okay guys, see how much of a difference that can make? So now it's got more of a body shape. Okay, now all I'm going to do is just going to roll these things, and then we're going to tape them, and then we'll go from there. So this is the, get your cutouts here. This is the lower arm. The lower arm should be a little bit smaller than the upper arm. And this is where the hands are going to be attached to. So let's start with the upper arms first. I'm only using one piece of Scotch tape. So there you have it. Just like that. You got some arms. Now we're going to add some details to the arm. Hey guys, I am back. So right now we're just going to start detailing the limbs. Newspaper. Just kind of crumble them up and wrap them around here. Like that. Just right around the middle. We're going to do this to every single arm piece. So, at this point, you should have a bunch of these, 4 of them. And now what you want to do is you want to start covering them with toilet paper. Okay, so at this point, you should have these for arms right now. These are your arm pieces. Okay, so let's set these aside to dry. Okay, now we can just set those aside and let those dry, and then let's start on the hands now. Okay, now what's left is to make the hands. This is a trick that I'm using. It's a pair of old dirty gloves. I kind of cleaned it off the best that I could, but anyway, so these gloves, so I'm going to show you what you do. First off, you want to trim off the excess. I'm going to trim this part off because I only want just the finger parts and not the sleeve. So we're going to cut the sleeve off right now. And there, okay. And then basically these sleeves, you want to discard these because they're no use. Okay, now the next part, you want to give them 4 fingers. You can give them 5 if you want to give them 5. You can just skip this step. But I want them to have only 4. Because a lot of characters that I want to do have only 4 fingers. So basically you just cut it right off. I think every character should have an opposable thumb. Okay, so now that we got that part done, what you want to do is you want to take some newspaper. You want to roll them up into a sausage. You just stuff your newspaper sausage into... You basically want to stuff each and every single finger with newspaper. And that will give them the nice inflated look. Okay, now the only step that's left is to cover it up with toilet paper, so let's do that now. Okay. Okay, so we have here some feet. Should have all of these things out here. We're going to be putting them all together now. So you will need a hot glue gun, and of course you'll need your brushes and all your paper mache stuff for afterwards. But let's get this puppet standing on its own now. So, and then you'll need one of these, which I had explained. I just basically took 2 of these and put epoxy glue in the middle because they were too short. You'll need the legs. Got the legs. We got the feet. You'll need the torso, the hips, and then the arms. Now I'll show you how to attach these. So starting off, we put you want to put the lower leg onto the foot, and it should have just a little bit of excess on the bottom foot because I made it slightly bigger. So this is kind of where you want to glue. Put your glue around. So let's do that right now. Put a little here. So now you should have 2 of these that are attached if you glued it on right. You can just kind of see where the glue is. I'm going to show you. That's just for how I glued it. So this is the calf, the lower leg is right here, and the upper leg is right there, okay? So now let's attach the hips. So just make sure you have your feet kind of positioned the way that you want it to before you start doing this. I've already done that. Just put it on, and this center line here should just be right in the middle. This is going to be what divides them. There will be excess that we will have to trim off. So I'm going to be gluing it from the top here. Okay, so that's the hips. It doesn't look too fabulous right now, but you'll also notice that there is a lot of excess back here. That's going to be trimmed off. So now it is time to attach this next part, the torso. And the torso, we're also going to find out where we're going to trim. So this will have to be trimmed off. Right here, this is a contact point because this is not very flat. So basically just where these two come in contact, I glued, and that'll just hold it down. So that's what I did. So we're basically just tacking them on. So basically what you want to do is you're going to first notice you have the hips is really bulging out. Yeah, that does not look good. What we need to do is we're going to trim off the excess so that it is flush with the legs and the torso. Okay, so what you want to do now is that you want to start putting some wet toilet paper all around here. What I'm going to do, now I can take this off. So now, at this point, you should have something that looks like this. What we're going to do is we're going to put some wet paper on here. Okay, so now I'm going to put some wet toilet paper along here, and I'm going to be attaching, you want to put some wet toilet paper along the hips and the thighs so that they connect. This will keep them glued together and nice and solid. So just do exactly what I do. Okay, now is a good time to cover up the rest of this cardboard, so I'm going to do this next. And I will see you in a couple seconds when it's dry. Okay guys, so now this is all dry. So now we are ready to attach the torso permanently. Okay? So we're just going to move this up a little closer. Just want you guys to be able to see. So basically, just make sure your torso, the front, just press on it until you got it nice and, yeah, so what you want to do is you want to take some hot glue and just glue it on here, or you just tack it on if you want. So take some hot glue and put that on there. And here it is so far. So I'm gonna let this dry, and when it's dry, we'll come back and we'll start attaching the arms and then the head. Okay, so now we have, this is all dry, so this is nice and solid right now. So what we're going to be doing next, we're going to be attaching the arms. So what you want to do is I want to make this body just a little more natural looking, so I need to shave this off. So this is basically what the arms are going to be fed through. So now what you want to do is you want to kind of flush this off. Okay, so what you want to do now is you want to take a piece of cardboard and just trace around this. Okay, so I'm going to cut this and I will be right back. Okay, so instead of cardboard, I think I'm going to use newspaper because it'll look a little more natural. Okay, here's what we have. Okay, so we're going to take that piece that we cut, we're going to put it on top here, okay? Okay. So, at this point, okay, so now it is time to insert the arms. So you're going to take this long pipe insulation tube and turn your puppet to the very side. Just kind of like the hole that you just covered up. We're going to be cutting it, but this will be our fixed height. Okay, now you can probably figure out what the next thing to do. Just insert the pipe and right inside. You want that in about centered. Okay, so these are the arms. Now to attach the arm pieces, that's going to be the next thing we're going to do. So basically, we're going to need 2 of these. We're just going to trace around and we're going to cut it out. Okay, so now what you're basically going to do is you take your arm piece and put it onto your puppet. Now, you're going to take this, just adjust it to whatever height that you want it. This seems to be okay, because you want it to be able to move, so then basically you just open this, just wrap this right around this. See? Now watch what happens when I'm about to do. And then you try to slide that. You can't, so that's what keeps it in place. And then you take your hot glue gun and you glue that on. Now you see that this thing's it's not staying down very good. That's because it's light. I'm gonna put it, when I put the lower arm on, it'll weigh it down and it'll look more relaxed. So it's normal for it to happen. So don't let this bother you. Now I'm gonna take a little brace that we had made. Now I'm gonna put the lower arm on. So you want to be able to have it bend over. You basically want the arm to be able to touch the chin or the head, kind of like how if your puppet can punch himself in the head, you're good. Punch in the head, you got good flexibility. If he can just now you're going to trim this. Want a little bit of room. Make sure that your newspaper is pushed in and just like that. But you're going to glue that on. Make sure it's touching the cardboard. Just hold it there until it sets. Okay, so we should be pretty close. Perfect. So there's your arms. Not too bad. And this is what we have so far. And here's what we got. So here are the dimensions that I'm using in case you guys want to use my plans. Do this. We're going to glue this on back here. I'm going to try it on the puppet for a second here. And we're going to glue this Make sure it is dead as center as you can. Okay, so that's what's going to be supporting the head. This is the stand-free version. You don't need to build a stand for this. We're going to attach this head now. So this is about right. So basically what you want to do is you want to cut a hole right here. You can just use your hands. You don't really want to take anything out, just push the newspaper all the way in. And there you have it. There we go. So, what we want to do now is we're going to attach the mouth. Okay, so we're going to be using orange because it's easier to see with the background. And I just dropped it. So I'm going to be using about this much. Okay. I'm just going to attach it to the back here, and basically this is going to be the hinge on this jaw. We're going to let this set. And there you have it, guys. Your puppet is now ready to be customized. Your puppet should be able to move its jaw. Your puppet should be able to wave. And your puppet should also be able to move its head from one side to the other. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. And remember, just have fun. If you don't have fun, how are you going to motivate yourself to finish it? Hello, my name is Blanca. Nice to meet you.